Go.
Tell me about your interests related to the restaurant industry.
Okay, well, first, my name is Brian. I'm the general manager at Superior Grill on Highland Road. And my interest related to the industry is I really enjoy celebrating people's best days, whether it be bridal showers, engagement parties, birthday announcements, graduations, and wedding parties. That's to be part of those kind of celebrations really gives me fulfillment in the job.
Nice, nice. What are your past experiences in the industry?
Well, I've always been part of full service, high volume restaurants, whether it be in Texas or Louisiana. It's kind of always been my niche and what I've enjoyed doing.
Nice. Where do you see yourself in 5 years professionally?
5 years professionally, I've hit the peak of this restaurant and I'm happy where I'm at, so I don't see myself leaving. Right now, it's just growth as far as the business goes, increasing revenue and profits, and that's kind of my goal in 5 years, and actually 10 years and 15 years until I'm done.
All right. What is one example of a success story of your leadership skills that describes why I should hire you?
Well, I had a mortician that used to come in when I was in New Orleans, and we got into it because he felt like I wasn't paying attention to his order, and then he left very unhappy. And then the next time he came in, he seemed aggravated that he was gonna have to deal with me again. But then I repeated his order to him from the first time we got into it, and then he said, "That really means a lot that you fixed it, remembered it, and then got it right." And so every time after that, he always came in to me, always called me by name, and we've been friends ever since.
I really like that. What is one instance where you have displayed strong communication skills with your customers?
One instance where I've displayed strong communication skills with my customers. So that would probably go back to that previous question.
Yeah.
And just understanding what he wanted, how it didn't go right, but then understanding how the communication needed to be fixed to rectify the situation in order for him to come back and know that he will be available and be ready to be another repeat customer.
How did you learn Microsoft softwares, and which ones are you proficient in what ways?
So I studied at the University of New Orleans in finance, and we had to take Microsoft Office classes, and I studied all of them: Access, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and even Movie. And I've used all of them at this location, but I definitely use Excel the most.
Goes back to the profitability.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of an instance where you realized a work ethic that you could improve upon and how you came to that conclusion?
Well, with the work ethic, I guess tact would be one, and it's really just the ability to deal with a situation without creating an offense. And so that's a pretty evolving task as you deal with different generations. And I struggled with it when I was a young manager, and just trying to not be so authoritarian. Is that the right word? Is that a word?
That's a word.
But as I get older and the generation gets younger, I struggle with how they can accept what I'm telling them. So I have to basically change my tact.
Yeah.
And so that's, to me, that's been a challenge for me as far as dealing with a younger generation that I struggle with, because they can be less receptive, or sometimes they can be more receptive. So it's just a challenge in general.
All right. What is one outstanding example of your success in a conflict situation at work?
I had a manager in New Orleans and a bartender who I both cared about. The bartender worked directly under me, but I worked directly with the manager. Did not get along, and basically the manager fired the bartender, and basically what I needed to do was make the bartender see that he had to basically apologize to that manager in order to get him back in. So convincing him to swallow his pride, and then convincing the manager that he overstepped his boundaries, that he took it a little too far. And then basically that manager agreed to hire him back, and they worked together pretty well since then. So
I really like that. Can you give me an example of a time you had to use your time management skills, and in what way did you use them?
So Mardi Gras in New Orleans, building scaffolding, working with City Hall, timing out the scaffolding build, timing out the permit builds, timing out the scheduling, all to where right when Mardi Gras falls into place, that it's all ready and a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of planning, timing, and precision, because you can't go up too early with the scaffolding because it just looks like you're in a construction zone when nobody really understands that Mardi Gras is 3 weeks away. And then the permitting process is really guidelined by the city, so it's timing on that so that you can beat the times and move on. So
Yeah, that is really impressive. What is one time you disagreed with your superior at work, and how did you handle it?
I've disagreed with my superior a lot. I've always tended to challenge the status quo, but
Yeah.
I would say the one instance was him letting go of a senior employee that I felt probably deserved another chance. And I basically stood in his corner because he was one of the guys that was on my schedules. And he basically said, I'm keeping them for you, but your job might be on the line if it continues to happen.
So you have faith in the people that you stand behind.
I try to.
All right. What can you bring of value to my company?
To your company, you could go back to the previous question to where I hold a lot of my employees to a sense of unity and also a sense of family. So I enjoy the team that I work with as far as going out to dinner, going out to drink, so they feel like it's not you're my boss, you just gotta listen to me, like your opinion matters. And these people become loyal to not only to the superiors they work with because they know that I've got their back, we've got their back, and then they become loyal to not only the people that they work with, but also to the company in general.
That is incredibly valuable. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
No problem, it's a pleasure.
Thanks.